Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In today's video, we're going to review the Bulldog Project after round 3. So, our round 3 score was 1,060, which got us in the top 30%. I think only just because my main team got 1,059, I'm pretty sure we were top 31%. So, scraped it in there. And I guess also when we look at the team and guess the results. Um, yeah, we actually played against the main team in the comp I entered the Bulldog Project in, so we got up by a point, which is pretty funny. That this team is doing better than the team that I've picked from the whole of the NRL. Probably says more about me than it does the team itself. So yeah, as you can see, the round rank was 42,000, top 30%. As we said, sneaking up in the rankings. Um, but yeah, if we have a look at the team, so probably I guess the big letdown in terms of the team was our captain. But Reed Marnie's never a letdown. He's doing the business on the field. So 44 this week, didn't quite translate. I think there was a couple of errors and a couple of near 40-20s. Um, yeah, as I said in the sort of main team video, I only saw the sort of second half or parts of the second half, particularly the 10 minutes where the Bulldogs fell asleep and the Tigers scored a few tries. Was listening in the car on the way back from the Gold Coast, so obviously the first half was much smoother sailing. But I guess when you've got someone like Harry Grant sitting on the bench with a ton, it stings a little bit. So yeah, so Harry Grant, that's awesome that we brought him in, and he has done the business for us. Max King, 67. He just does work. Averaging 60, which I said on my other channel, I've got Tarpany and Harris in the front row, and they're averaging 60. So we'll take that every day of the week. Ryan Sutton, 40. So, a little bit down, but it wasn't really a day for the big boys, sweltering hot. And he's from England, so he's probably not used to it, although he should be after a few years here in Australia. But yeah, you can forgive that. So Pele was laid out. Um, Tanner came in, sort of that impact front row position. So not a lot going on our front row bench, but it is what it is. So kick out 68, so that nice little try assist there for Hayes Perham, and he did look pretty menacing down that left edge. So not the worst decision to hold him. Obviously, he has dropped some cash and probably still has a fairly high break even. But I guess, part of this team is to maybe have some more of these Bulldogs guys in the team for the long term. So otherwise, it'll just get close to morphing into the other team that I've got going. For Taylor Mariner, 40. So yeah, I guess, looking at his average and the fact he doesn't really have the upside of kick out means he could be one that's traded out. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll talk about that once we've done the review. Hopgood, so I guess come back to earth a bit with the 45, which, it's not great. Obviously, VC option, which we didn't take, still would have been better money, but yeah, I guess you can't, or I say you can't, you maybe can, but you can't bust out a ton over 80 minutes every week if you're playing in the middle. Especially given the weather this week and weekend just gone has been pretty warm, so that's a forgive. I wouldn't stress. He's making money still, hand over fists, so no need to panic on that. Katoa, 64, so I guess another beneficiary of the Storms attacking output increasing. Unfortunately, it was the defence that let them down the teams against the Gold Coast, so Supercoach is an attack-minded game though, so we'll take that every day of the week. Preston, 69 points. He's doing absolute bits for us. 100k cash. or thereabouts. It looks like he's going to play on that edge as long as he likes. Even with, Pangai coming back just around the corner. So Flanagan 47, so kicking goals this week, I'm pretty sure, which was interesting. Um, but yeah, that's what he's going to average. That's the sort of player he is for the team. Is the guide around the field, maybe more so than the one who puts the polish on at the end. And Cleary being on the bye meant that he got a gig in that spot. Matt Burton 76, so you know compared to Adam Dewey, this was a good week for Burton. So obviously traded him out of a main side, but kept the faith with him here. So that's what he can produce. That awesome run, step, try. Thanks for coming. Um, yeah, so hopefully he just keeps getting his hands on the ball and keeps getting them over the stripe. Yeah, I guess obviously if he was kicking goals, that score would have been even better, but we'll take what we can get. Josh Reynolds, he was 18th man, I think, so well, he was definitely around the squad, so would have been good to see him get a run at Belmore, but yeah, that's all right. We don't really have too many options. I guess, Katoa's going up in price. Maybe Schuster next week might be a play to sort of, get something going in that 5-8-2 spot. And then the back line. So unfortunately, we traded out Addo Carr, who finished off the two tries. Don't know. They wouldn't have been line breaks, so it would have just been the tries. What did he end up scoring? Addo Carr. Here we go. So he got 70. So I mean, him over Avarillo would have been nice, but I think we've put that 500k to better use. With the hammer and a couple other bits we did with it, I guess, or will do with it. Sakura 62, so absolute weapon, just kept running it all day, which is what you want when it's warm weather. The forwards, doing the defense in the middle. Yeah, someone like that who can just come in and just keep running it up. That's amazing to have. So super glad I've got him in both SuperCoach teams now. And I think he's in Sports Tech team too, but that's whatever it is. Param 63, so scored a try. He is looking good, and might be one that gets away from a few people. Uh, because of the awkward price and the dodgy preseason form. So could be a real pod for this team, and I guess anyone else who's got him. Avarillo 33, so I guess it wasn't particularly the right edges day, but he's ticking away. If we find someone else who comes up at that cheap price that we can swap in, it might be a trade in the near future. Nalamotti 78, so he's sort of had a couple of lower games, but he showed us why he's NRL grade. Those two plays, the intercept and then the snatch out of the air, followed by some real clever work to draw two defenders and put out a car away on the backup. So yeah, 78, that's fantastic. And the hammer 55. So I think that was his worst score for the year, but I mean, we got him in because he's going to make some money. He's getting himself involved. What did he make this week? Yeah, 95k. Thank you. We'll pocket that. Ockenbaugh, I thought he was named on the bench, but probably just didn't get on the field because the game script didn't allow for it. Obviously, it was tight towards the end. Um, and the last thing you wanted with the leaky middle was to perhaps get him on there. Would have been good to do some running in that, but yeah, it just didn't quite work out for him. And Skelton, um, yeah, didn't play. I think I saw a highlight of him. Maybe this was from the other week. Yeah, I think it was the man of the game. He put the big fend on, just running over someone. So yeah, he's going to be good. Tedesco is 60, so I think that was his highest score for the year. but he's on the bye this week, so we've got to work out something at fullback, I think. And we have the perfect player for that. So yeah, so in terms of the plan for this week, as I said, we don't have a fullback, and you can probably afford to have one sitting on the bench, but you can't afford to have both. So Atomic Turbo's coming in before his price rockets up. Um, you know, turned up last week, averaging 100 from the 2 games. Yeah, he's a lock. I know. Again, that's looking similar to what a lot of people have. It's only that I have traded Tedesco out, so of my other teams, but obviously trading him in here. Um, yeah, I'm not going to trade him out just yet. Maybe if he keeps continuing to be flat, we might be forced to. But then, particularly around Origin, maybe as well. But we'll keep the faith. But obviously, we won't see much this week due to the bye. And then after that, well, what do we got as an option? Let's have a look. Who went massive this week? We can chase some points, maybe. Kyle Matangi, he'd be pretty nice to have in the forward pack there. Meany, 100 tonned up. Don't know any cheap options that went off. I guess the cheap option that I've brought into my other team was Tyrell Sloan. So I mean, we could do something like Avarillo to Sloan. If I could find him, can never find him. Just filter it out. That's the easiest way. Sloan. So yeah, 53. So he'll make some cash over the next couple of weeks. Might not be massive, but frees up some cash to maybe do something with someone like a Fatala Mariner or a Sutton. Let's have a look who we can get. I'm going to clear the filter. Someone like Kyle Matangi would be nice, but he's just out of range. Tavanga made a good first game back. So it could be a good time to pull the trigger on someone like Ola Kuatu. He's someone that I'm really keen on. He only scored 60. I thought he'd done a bit more than that, but let's have a look. So 80 minutes. Oh, yeah, so 2 tries and he only got 60. Ooh, it's a bit of a concern. What happened there? Not a lot of runs, I suppose, compared to week 1. Well, it's a bit of an alarm bell. Maybe we won't do that. Maybe it's worthwhile saving a trade boost. Let's have a look at the break evens maybe as well. That'll give us some clue. So Preston we've got, Alamotti we've got, Sloan we've traded in. Trindle, well, I think he's injured, or saw something about him being injured, but also Nico Hines should be back this week. He'd be the one that would be great to get, but there's not really many ways of doing that, I wouldn't have thought. Unless we say that. Go back, and it'd have to be like you'd bin someone like Kick Out for probably if Schuster makes the most sense at the price. And then you could afford to go Flanagan to Hines. He's not there because his price is at the bottom. Yeah, so you could do something like that. But then we lose Kick Out from our second row. So not keen on that. So let's just lock in the turbo trade. That is dead set locked in. Let's have a realize. Well, break even of -4. So maybe we holdover. That's right. He had that massive one last week. So maybe do we go Ockenborder Sloan to try and make some more money? Can we? Don't have any other 5-8 options. Maybe we go early on Schuster, Reynolds, slot fairway down the list, 300k. Then what do we do from there? Not much. Yeah, probably happy to give that one more week. Yeah, mate. I think we can make the 2 trades. We don't need the boost. I think that's just about a given. But I guess it would be nice to upgrade for Mariner as well. So maybe we do something like that. Won't make any money this week. But yeah. Oh, hang on, I need to swap to the 5-8. Schuster, there he is. Yeah, so then for Mariner can become whoever we want. We would have to boost. Well, actually, hang on, cancel. So for Mariner, as is. Auckland Fitzgibbon. Yeah, don't worry about that. Tom Gilbert. Yeah, solid but not spectacular. Josh King's come back to earth, hasn't he, after that first big game? Nice card, right? The Cardi party, that could be worth a laugh. Probably depends on Matt Dury's injury in that, so that'd be teamers dependent. But in saying that, I have been impressed with his work rate. He does the solid stuff rather than the spectacular nowadays, which is nice. Who else? Yeah, don't know. Nothing really pops out. Maybe he's the one that goes to Schuster, and because it can make us a little bit more money. We got cover with Preston, Katoa, so 50 something, wasn't it? Jackson Ford, if named, would be interesting. We had that good first week, and then obviously the 4, which will stunt his cash gen. But if he goes back to playing big minutes on that edge, it could be worth a shout. But yeah, we'll put Schuster in there for now, and then I think maybe that's about it for the time being. Because like I said, getting Nico Hines in would be good, but I think the only options with money is our keepers, so we don't really want to mess with that. I don't think. Yeah, so maybe something like that, just to generate a bit more cash. Um, I should have compared their break even. 21. So yeah, that's good. Cole might make a bit of money. What was Fatala? Yeah, Fatala, isn't it? Yeah, so he dropped 11k and he's break even at 50. Yeah, so I think this could be the right call. It's not to say that Schuster has to play this week. I guess we do sort of fast forward and look at the team structure. So with Penrith, kicking things off. It's pretty much a lock. Cleary's VC. Turbo's obviously going to come into the side. Tedesco would be a sort of loophole captain when the Roosters play. Yeah, much later in the week. Oh, they don't play at all, do they? When does Manly play? Sunday, yeah. So heaps of time to do the swap and lock in the reserve as the construction goes on next door. Apologies for that. When did Melbourne play? They play Friday, Arvo. Might have to quickly do this to get out of the noise. But yeah, might do that. Yeah, ton. I'll rate Harry Grant as captaincy option most weeks. But other than that, what do we need to do? Not too much. I think the reserves are pretty well right. Definitely Marnie, definitely Preston, and Qatar. I guess with those three is fine. Fido as the fourth, we're happy with that. All right, but I'll wrap it up there so that the noise can go on next door. Comment if you've got any other suggestions about using the boost, changing that second trade, whatever you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're loving the content and want to see more of it. Background noise aside. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one.